What's up, y'all? Jacques Tronhon. I want to see if they're going to censor this or not, but I'm going to read straight from the files that were released on Thursday, and I don't know, see what happens. These are the 3 files. Got them all open. You can see the numbers. I'm going a little slower. There you go. You're on data set 12. So I need to organize it a little bit. But anyway, try to keep it like this so y'all can see it. The interviewing agents asked Blank to provide additional details regarding her first interaction with Donald Trump when she was approximately 13 to 15 years old. In either New York or New Jersey, while also in the company of Jeffrey Epstein. Blank clarified that when she previously said Trump struck her after she bit him on the penis, she provided further details that he pulled her hair and punched her on the side of her head. With respect to Blank mother, Blank deceased, Blank recalled her mother spent approximately 2 years in federal prison in Columbia, South Carolina, around the time Blank was 17 or 18 years old. Mother's sentence was related to embezzlement conviction connected to being blackmailed by Jeffrey Epstein and Jim Atkins over explicit photographs of Blank. Blank asked where Epstein had a sibling. The investigating agents inquired as to what made her think she had a sibling. Blank replied she recalled there was a man, possibly a brother of Epstein's, that she recalled from the past. Since the sexual assaults Blank suffered at the hands of Epstein and his associates, Blank was threatened on numerous occasions by unidentified people she believed were connected to Epstein. Blank's mother was also threatened on numerous occasions prior to her death. The first incident Blank could recall occurred in approximately Blank. When Blank was 16 to 17 years old, Blank was living in a suburb in South Carolina at the time. Blank's mother had been arrested for embezzlement and could not pay the restitution. Blank called Atkins at the university where he worked, unidentified, to ask him for help. She recalls she asked him why he fixed her mother's real estate books, only to later turn her mother in to the police. Atkins responded to, the child, by stating words to the effects that he did not give a shit if you end up in the gutter. Don't ever contact me again. Your mother knows what will happen. The child recalled threatened telephone calls primarily began to occur after the child gave birth to her daughter in Several calls listed as no ID on her caller ID system were made to the child's telephone. The voicemail content primarily included only noises. However, during one call, a man unidentified said, "Fuck you, you better keep your mouth closed." The man subsequently hung up. The child was threatened sometimes every 2 years, then at random times. The child never recognized the voices during the telephone calls, but she was certain the callers were not Epstein, Atkins, or Trump. The callers did not have a heavy New York accent. She clarified that Epstein did not have a heavy New York accent in general. However, he said certain words with an accent. In approximately Blank, the child's mother filed threat calls as well made by individuals telling her to leave the island. Child's mother was most likely also threatened in person. However, the child's mother's previous husbands, whoever they are, also received at least one threatening call at some point. No further information. The last call that the child characterized as threatening occurred in approximately December of January. Why even take out this year? While the child was working at whatever place. A co-worker received a message on their work landline and that was intended for the child. The man on the message stated he was either Kevin or Keith's and that he was calling from the child's doctor's office to check on her. So before I keep going, you gotta remember this is from 2019. So this is when actually Trump put Epstein in jail. Go figure that he put the guy in jail who could put him under. So in my opinion, Epstein had dirt on Trump. The child only listened for a second and did not hear the entire message. The child, the child's doctor, had no idea where she worked and would never have called to check on her. The child stated she told her daughter about the call, and her daughter sub- subsequently called the doctor in an attempt to confirm the call to the child. I guess the doctor's office stated they did not call to check on the child. The child told her boss that she had to take her daughter and leave immediately. The child believed the incident to be threatening and related to Epstein and or his associates. The child stated under her breath that if it was not Epstein, maybe it was the other one. When asked the the identity of the other one, she stated Trump. The child stated Trump. The child was asked several times if she could estimate how many times she received threatening calls that she associated with Epstein and his associates. The child could not provide an answer, indicating there were numerous threats calls throughout her life. In the beginning, the threats were regular. They later became sporadic, and a year would go by in between incidents. During the past 4 years, the threats increased a little from one or the other. While asked to clarify what she means by one or the other, the child stated that she did not wish to further discuss the comment at this time. Administrative note immediately after indicating she did not wish to expand on the particular statement. The child looked at her attorney and stated when he was running. At that point, the child's attorney stated more tracks to cover. Okay. The child reported the statement back to her attorney. The child recalled receiving several hang-ups and a lot of brief telephone messages that included words to the effect, "We know where you are at. You need to keep your mouth shut." The people who called knew the child's mother was in a specific assisted living facility. I hope you can still see that. The child initially stated the individuals possibly called her mother, but when asked how she knew they were aware of her mother's residence in a particular assisted living facility, the child stated they called her mother there. The calls to her mother included rude language about her mother's age and health. Read the when asked part at this top part, right above the confidential. When asked what made the child think the calls were related to Epstein, his associates, the child responded that she did not think the calls ever said they were calling on behalf of Epstein or Trump. The child does not have any other issue in her past that would explain years of harassment and threats. Since the threats began, the child has had 4 to 5 close calls where she was almost run off the road. 1 or 2 incidents occurred prior to whatever, and one approximately 2 years ago. During the child's incident, the child and her mother were driving one night on Interstate 5 near Blank, Oregon. It was dark and rainy that night. One car behind them, with the child, repeatedly turned its lights on and off. Then that car and another, both described as nice and black or blue, attempted to run them off the road. The car to the blank left was larger and had 4 doors. She recalled an 18-wheeler was driving in front of them at the time. Blank did not wreck her vehicle during the incident. After the incident, her mom began crying and the child pulled over. Oh, the mom, I'm not sure. During the last incident, which the child clarified had pause it. Which the child clarified may have happened 2 to 3 years ago. She was driving on Interstate 5 towards her home in Blank, Washington at approximately 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. day of the week unknown, when the child took her first Blank exit near the gas station and traffic circle. A male driver positioned her car on her ass and slammed her car forward. The man Blank ran the child through a traffic circle where she blew out her tire and broke her mirror. She recalled she ran into a sign. The vehicle that struck her was a dark black or blue sports utility vehicle. The child believed the driver had to be male due to the shape of her body. She saw in her mirror. She stated the man was maybe white. After the child wrecked, she called a friend who lived nearby and told him she had no idea what happened. The child did not recall the police. In her knowledge, no police responded to the hit and run. Employees